Have you ever wondered how ethical hackers protect systems from attacks? It's a fascinating world where the guardians of our digital universe use the same techniques as the villains, but for a noble cause. Welcome to the realm of ethical hacking. Ethical hacking, also known as white hat hacking, is akin to a digital spy game. These are the good guys, the cybersecurity experts who use their hacking skills in a lawful and legitimate manner. They think like the bad guys to find and fix vulnerabilities before they can be exploited. Picture them as a kind of digital Sherlock Holmes, using their knowledge to outsmart the villains, not to commit crimes, but to prevent them. They use a variety of tools and techniques, all within the boundaries of the law, to ensure that our data stays safe. With the right tools and knowledge, ethical hackers can be the first line of defense against cyber threats. So, how do ethical hackers safeguard a system? They use tools such as intrusion detection systems and intrusion prevention systems. In the vast world of cybersecurity, intrusion detection systems, or IDS, and intrusion prevention systems, or IPS, play significant roles. But what exactly are they? Let's dive in, starting with intrusion detection systems, or IDS. As the name suggests, this is a device or software application that monitors a network or systems for malicious activity or policy violations. It's like a vigilant security guard, always on the lookout for any suspicious behavior. Once it detects something out of the ordinary, it raises an alarm. But remember, it's a passive system. It doesn't take any direct action against the intrusion. It's the cyber equivalent of a burglar alarm. It'll alert you to a potential problem, but it won't kick the intruder out. Now, let's move on to intrusion prevention systems, or IPS. This system takes things a step further. Not only does it detect potential threats, but it also takes action to prevent them. Think of it like a security guard who doesn't just spot the intruders, but also actively prevents them from entering. It can block traffic from malicious IP addresses, disconnect sessions, and even reconfigure other security controls to enhance protection. So, in a nutshell, while an IDS alerts you to a possible intrusion, an IPS actively works to stop the intrusion from causing any harm. In the grand scheme of cybersecurity, both IDS and IPS play crucial roles. They work together to ensure that any potential threat is not only detected, but also effectively neutralized. They're like the dynamic duo of cybersecurity, tirelessly working to ensure your systems and networks remain safe and secure. IDS/IPS, when used correctly, form a crucial part of any cybersecurity strategy. Why does an ethical hacker need to know about IDS/IPS? Now that's a question that deserves some attention. Intrusion detection systems and intrusion prevention systems, or IDS/IPS for short, are vital tools in the arsenal of an ethical hacker. Why so, you ask? Well, let's break it down. Firstly, IDS/IPS systems help identify vulnerabilities in a network. They do so by monitoring traffic, recognizing patterns, and flagging anything that looks out of the ordinary. For an ethical hacker, this is like having a trusty sidekick who's constantly on the lookout, ready to point out where the weaknesses lie. This knowledge enables the hacker to address these vulnerabilities, fortifying the network against potential threats. But the importance of IDS/IPS doesn't stop there. These systems also play a crucial role in detecting malicious activities. They keep an eye out for any suspicious behavior, any anomalies that could indicate a cyber threat. If there's a wolf in sheep's clothing lurking in your network, you can bet that IDS/IPS will sniff it out. Now you might be thinking, well, that's all well and good, but isn't detection a bit passive? That's where the P in IPS comes in. Intrusion prevention systems are not just about detection, they're about action. When they spot a potential threat, they don't just sit back and watch. They take measures to stop the threat in its tracks, preventing any potential attacks. For an ethical hacker, this is like having a superhero on your team. It's not just about finding the villains, it's about stopping them before they can do any damage. And that's what ethical hacking is all about, isn't it? Protecting systems, safeguarding data, and ensuring the integrity of our digital world. So yes, understanding and using IDS, IPS is a crucial part of ethical hacking. It's not just about knowing how to break systems, it's about knowing how to protect them too. And that is why an ethical hacker needs to know about IDS, IPS. Understanding and using IDS, IPS allow ethical hackers to protect systems proactively. Now that we know what IDS, IPS are and why they're important, how do we use them ethically? In the realm of ethical hacking, it's critical to understand that IDS, IPS tools are not just powerful, but potentially intrusive. Hence, their use needs to be governed by a strong moral compass along with a clear comprehension of legality. Let's unravel the ethical considerations associated with IDS, IPS. First and foremost, ethical hackers must always have explicit permission to deploy these tools. This permission should be obtained in writing from the system owner or the authorized entity. Without this consent, the use of IDS, IPS could be considered malicious, even if the intentions are good. Secondly, the purpose of using IDS, IPS must be clear and aligned with enhancing security. It means that these tools should not be used for personal gain or to cause harm. For instance, if an ethical hacker identifies a vulnerability, it should be reported to the appropriate authority for rectification rather than being exploited. Additionally, it's crucial to respect privacy while using IDS or IPS. Often, these systems can access sensitive information. Ethical hackers should have procedures in place to handle this data responsibly and ensure it remains confidential. Furthermore, ethical hackers should strive to minimize any disruption to the system's normal functioning while using IDS, IPS. The aim should be to improve security without causing unnecessary inconvenience to the system users. Finally, it's important to stay updated with the legal landscape. Laws around cybersecurity are evolving, and what may be legal today could be considered illegal tomorrow. Ethical hackers should always be aware of the latest regulations in their jurisdiction to avoid any inadvertent legal violations. In conclusion, ethical use of IDS, IPS involves a delicate balance of power, responsibility, and respect for privacy. It's not just about possessing the technical know-how, but also about understanding the moral and legal implications of these actions. Ethical use of IDS, IPS not only ensures legality, but also maintains trust and integrity. Remember, as an ethical hacker, you're a guardian of the digital world, and your actions set the standard for security practices. Let's move from theory to practice. How does an ethical hacker use IDS, IPS in real life? Picture this: a bustling city with a myriad of digital touchpoints, from traffic signals to public Wi-Fi networks. In this scenario, our ethical hacker, let's call her Priya, is tasked with securing the city's digital infrastructure. Priya starts by deploying an intrusion detection system, or IDS, across the city's network. She carefully configures it to monitor patterns within the traffic data. It's like a digital watchdog sniffing out any suspicious activities. Suddenly, the IDS alerts Priya of an unusual spike in traffic from a specific IP address. This could be a potential cyber attacker trying to flood the network, a common tactic known as a denial of service or DOS attack. But Priya is prepared. She has an intrusion prevention system, or IPS, in place. This system is more than just a watchdog. It's a digital bouncer, ready to block any threats detected by the IDS. Priya promptly instructs the IPS to block all incoming traffic from the suspicious IP address, thwarting the DOS attack. The attacker, finding their efforts fruitless, eventually gives up. After the threat has been neutralized, Priya conducts a thorough analysis of the incident. She reviews the IDS logs to understand the nature of the attack and how it was detected. This helps her fine-tune the IDS/IPS configuration for future threats. This is just one instance of how IDS/IPS can be employed in the real world. Ethical hackers like Priya use these systems to not only detect, but also prevent cyber attacks, safeguarding our digital lives. So, next time you're enjoying a seamless online experience, remember, there's likely a Priya out there, using tools like IDS and IPS to keep cyber threats at bay. That's just one example of how IDS, IPS can be used in ethical hacking. We've learned a lot today, haven't we? We dived into the riveting world of ethical hacking, demystified the core concepts of intrusion detection systems and intrusion prevention systems, more commonly known as IDS and IPS. We've also explored their significance in the realm of ethical hacking, an essential layer of defense in our increasingly digital world. Moreover, we've learned how to use IDS and IPS ethically, a critical skill that empowers us to safeguard our networks without infringing on privacy or ethics. Remember, the goal here is to protect, not to pry. As we move forward into this exciting field, let's hold on to these lessons, always ensuring that our actions align with the principles of ethical hacking. Remember, knowledge is power. Use it wisely, ethically, and for the greater good. Don't forget to subscribe to the BP Coding YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description. This video was made by Bibash Sharma, the Program Director of BP Coding. Stay safe and keep learning.